So, IPS TV, I'm here with Bruce Jones from Lectrosonics. You've got some very exciting new products, and I was just miking you up, and what I didn't realise was in the pocket that I was putting the mic in, you had another transmitter, which I didn't notice until you pulled it out. It's so small, so tell us about it.
Well, this is the new SSM micro transmitter, we call it. Especially useful in theatrical or any sort of motion picture television production where costuming and must be concealed easily. It uses a standard LEMO 3-pin connector, has a 75 megahertz tuning range, and the very latest DSP compatibility algorithms for use with a variety of receivers, ours and even some other brands. So it runs on a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. It's a very common battery that's found to be used extensively in portable point-and-shoot cameras. So the batteries and the chargers are widely available in a variety of sources. There's nothing special about it. So.
And that battery, how would you, have you got a good way of charging that battery?
Well, you can have a separate charger by itself, which is available at a lot of different stores, or we have for large installations, such as in theater or some larger studios, we have a rack mount charging 12-station charger with 12 independent charging units on it that will implement the somewhat complicated charging routine of lithium-ion batteries, because it's kind of a complicated range. It isn't just voltage. They charge and discharge at different rates, and it's kind of complicated. This actually has 12 different chargers built into one assembly. So.
And how long is one of those batteries going to give me in?
The battery will operate this transmitter for about 6.5 hours. And it varies a little bit depending on intermittent use, whether it's on continuously. It doesn't affect it much by temperature. It's quite a stable, predictable battery.
So good use in the Arctic. Bring your mini transmitters to the Arctic then.
Well, the transmitter will work. The batteries are the problem when it's sub-zero like that. So
lovely.
To go along with that, we have also a companion receiver that's new here at IBC. This is called the SRC. This is a continuation of our modular, what we call camera slot receivers, where the receiver can be placed down inside of a slot in a camera. There are a variety of adapter plates for the back of it to fit all the different popular cameras, just all the brands. There also are adapters that will attach an external battery so the receiver can be used by itself. And we now have, coming very soon, will be an adapter that will give you 2 AES digital outputs on that as an option, in addition to the analog outputs. That's very close to production, so we'll have that very soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
So this also is a 75 megahertz tuning bandwidth in either 25 kilohertz or 100 kilohertz steps, your choice. You can store custom frequency sets inside of it if you desire. Another large feature on it is the tracking filters. This has a very high resolution tracking filter, so as you change frequencies across the band, the filter retunes to stay centered over the carrier, and that blocks all the high-powered energy on adjacent channels and lowers the noise floor significantly. So the performance of this little receiver is extremely close to our legendary 411A. It's surprisingly close, actually. So very well received here. People have been very anxious for this.
And that's an individual tracking filter on each side
on each
of the
receiver, right?
Brilliant.
Now, each receiver does its own.
Are there any other differences between that and the SRB?
Well, the front end, the RF section in the front end actually was completely redesigned from scratch. So it is a different circuit altogether. Performance-wise, what you would notice, so there's nothing physical that you see on it, but if you take it out and do torture testing and noise testing, intermod measurements, it is significantly improved. It has moved up the bar quite a bit.
So same box, whole new innards?
Correct, yes. All new innards that you can't see. Now it's a very diligent effort in engineering. This was frustrating at moments and very tedious, and we're finally there with the receiver. We're very happy with the performance. It's an extremely good performer.
Oh, so. Fantastic. And is there anything else to go into that receiver with?
This new transmitter, this is a continuation of our plug-on transmitters. means it's an XLR connector. You can connect into any microphone with this connector on it. It does provide phantom power of 5, 15, or 48 volts, and it's a true 48 volt supply that will match the DIN standard. So even studio condenser mics, high current microphones will still operate with it. It can handle that. It does pull power from the battery somewhat, but it is very functional even with the highest quality studio condenser microphones. We have added a USB port on it so you can do firmware updates built into it, and an infrared port so that you can use the automatic scan called Smart Tune on the receiver. You simply press the button on the receiver, it scans the entire tuning bandwidth, picks a frequency, resets the receiver, and prompts you to hold the transmitter up. You push a button, the IR port reprograms the transmitter, and away you go. You can be completely up and running in about 90 seconds with it.
Oh, fantastic.
So
no more
very
scrabbling
nice
to take it off the boom and
Well,
undo
yeah.
the ties and, you know. Just
well, manually scanning, and then you find a frequency, then you fiddle with the transmitter.
Yeah,
all
very
that's
good.
gone now.
Oh, lovely.
It's,
That's a very exciting development.
So even in multi-channel situations, you can run the first scan, turn that transmitter on, leave it on, run the scan again, it'll find another frequency, and you set the second one up and proceed. Of course, if you're doing a larger system with 5 or 6 channels or more, you really should coordinate frequencies a little bit. That's a little different issue. But for field production and quick, certainly in fast-paced EMG type production, it's very quick. Smart Tune, the IR port, and away you go.
So with these new 75 megahertz frequency blocks, is there any development with that for the UK users?
What we call the B2 band, and just for clarification, we're using the term band to cover the new wideband, which would include 3 of what we call formerly blocks. The block is 25 megahertz, the band is 3 of those, so it's 75 megahertz. The new one for the UK in particular covers the 606 band, is called B2. It's an offset shift. That is, as far as I know, that's either in production or extremely close to production. Anytime we change the frequency tuning range on the transmitter receiver, we have to run through all of the tests and measurements from square one. Because if you change one component somewhere, then something else is impacted too. So it's a long, tedious process, but the B2 band for the UK is coming very soon.
New super tiny transmitter, wideband to go with our lovely wideband receivers. Thank you very much, Bruce, that's fantastic.
Certainly, it's a pleasure, thank you.